Gen Z, millennials, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. If there's anyone to blame, we have to blame the black baby boomers. And I'm speaking to specifically Generation Z, foundational black Americans, and millennial foundational black Americans. It is not my fault that I'm now living in this van. It's not my fault that I did everything that I was told to do. Go to school, study hard, get good grades, play by the rules, get your degree, and voila, you'll have the American dream. No, I did everything that I was told to do. And if you're in a similar situation where you did everything that your baby boomers told you to do, and you find that things are not working out like you thought they would work out, like they told you it should work out, it's not your fault. See, the issue is that these individuals were giving outdated information, things that work for them in their time, right? Because in their time, yes, they had to deal with the system of whitey supremacy. They had to deal with racism and prejudice and all these things, but they didn't have to deal with all these other factors that we have to deal with today. They didn't have to deal with the influx of hostile immigrants, right? See, in their time, they could go to school, get out, and get a good government job with good benefits. In their time, a man could go work at a factory and support his family and buy a home and maybe even send his children to college. See, in their time, they could do those things, right? In their time, they didn't have to deal with all the influx of these immigrants that come in and are competing with them. So they didn't have to deal with all that. So when they're giving information based on a time period that is no longer in existence, they have set us up for failure. In addition, they didn't operate like the other groups operated. The black baby boomers didn't operate like the Chinese baby boomers. The black baby boomers didn't operate like the whitey baby boomers. The black baby boomers didn't even operate like the Hispanic baby boomers. They just thought about themselves. They just thought about, I got to get mines, you got to get yours. I got to get mines, you got to get yours. So they didn't prepare for us to, when we came of age, to have anything. You see, these other groups, what they did is when they get in a certain industry, let's say like the post office, right? And once they got in the post office, like let's say we'll use the Filipinos in the Bay Area, right? Once they got in, one of them got in, then another got in, then another got in. Then when they got in positions of power, they created a situation where they could look out for their folks in the construction. When the Hispanics got in control of the construction trades, and one of them got in, another got in, another got in, then they brought their younger generations in. And now, in particular in California, they control the construction industry. Now the service jobs, they control the service jobs. They control the retail jobs. And now they've got into positions in the government and they control all that, and they only looking out for themselves. So now their Gen Zs and their millennials can come in to open opportunities already. But our black baby boomers, they dropped the ball. They still talking about vote blue no matter what you do, when the Democrats are the reason that we are in this situation now as we speak. Because we can't really blame the Republicans so much, because the Republicans are doing what they always going to do. They've been doing, and they're continuing to do that, right? But we put our blind faith behind the Democratic Party, and what did they do? They undermined us. They talked to us like their children, and then they implemented all these things and all these policies and all these actions that allowed all these groups to come in that came in to undermine us. But these baby boomers are still talking about vote blue. These baby boomers are still asking us to vote for a party that don't want to give us any tangibles for our vote. They still talking about doing this. And this is the same mindset that got us in the situation that we are in now. So it's not our fault. It's not our fault. Because it can't be our fault. You know, how things are supposed to work is, in general, a generation that is coming of age is supposed to set up certain circumstances that when the generation coming under them is coming up, and now the generation that was before them are now older, the generation that's coming under them are supposed to come and step in to those doors and those opportunities and those businesses that the generation before them set up. But the black baby boomers didn't do that for us. They left us with nothing. No businesses to step into, no industries that they dominated and controlled, none of that. We were left with nothing. And now we are in this effed up situation where the chance of us ever owning a home, the chance of us ever becoming or building wealth are slim to none, right? There's a very select few that may have passed on some property to their children, but the majority haven't. The majority have only passed on debt and hopelessness. So with that being said, y'all, we can't blame ourselves. We can't blame ourselves. We have to blame the generation before us who were supposed to see the situation, realize the situation, look at other groups and how they're operating, and then make sure that they created something for us, for the future generation, for us. Not just, let's make sure they're voting for the Democrat Party when the Democrats haven't done and aren't doing anything for us, but only undermining us. You're doing everything for all these other groups, but the most loyal supporters, they just saying, okay, just vote for us and don't expect anything from us. This is why now you got Kamala Harris talking about transactional voting when she wasn't talking about that. But when she's seen that the younger generation wasn't buying that stuff that the older generation, the baby boomers, were buying, and which was probably the reason why she didn't win. Now she's coming back with a whole different new message that she should have had when she was running against Trump in the beginning, and maybe she might have been in office today, but now she's coming with that talk. But it's too late. So that's all I gotta say, y'all. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, just know we're not to blame for this situation. We're not. I'm out.